6-time world champ.
Five-time.
For sure. Shout out to A1 Dunn on the beat. I'd like to welcome y'all to the LK Sport Podcast. On this episode, we'll be talking about the upcoming NFL draft that's going down Thursday night, 8 p.m. in Kansas City. We also talk about the NBA playoffs. We're going to just give a slight update, but majority of this pod is going to be about the NFL draft that's coming up, who we hope our teams draft, and some other big names where we think they're going. Without further ado, what's happening with your GMoney?
What's up? It's like I feel like Adam Schefter today here with the phone going off and all this breaking news and stuff today. All kinds of stuff happening today.
Let's do it.
Breaking news.
All right. I'm gonna keep the big one last. We got in basketball, we got DeJounte Murray got suspended for Game 5 for bumping the refs after the Game 4. Pretty interesting if you've seen the video. I don't know what was happening.
He definitely bumped him, but yeah, I don't know what was going on. I don't know what the exact situation was, but he definitely made contact with him. So I guess this is not. I mean, he made contact with him, right? That's the rules.
The ref was threw off. He looked at him like, "What's up? Like, what is this about?" Like, and then he was pointing at the other ref. So obviously he was pissed about something. So who knows? I haven't got the full story yet.
I mean, like we were saying, I don't think it really matters anyways. So going back to Boston, it probably doesn't really matter.
You're right. Udoka, famously for going with having a child with Nia Long. He got fired for I'm going to say going against team rules. I'm going to go in depth about it with the Celtics. He's got a job with the Houston Rockets now. How you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, he seemed like he's a good coach. I mean, again, they had a lot of talent in Boston, so, I think a lot of that has to do with it. But, I mean, he seems like a good coach. Yeah, I mean, he's agreed to a deal. No details on it or anything like that, but just says that they have agreed to a deal. Sources have told ESPN's Woj. That's what Woj is reporting it. So usually that's pretty solid.
All right. Also in NBA, unfortunate for me because I took Kings in 7. Fox had the tip of his finger broken. They said
he's doubtful for Game 5.
Yeah, it's a 2-2 series back at home in Sacramento. I mean, the Warriors catch another break.
Yeah. It goes with it, I guess, that championship, that kind of luck. I mean, it's just like, a little bit about that, that kind of stuff, it's like.
Your hand in catch fire. But it's just unfortunate, man. I mean.
But hopefully he's doubtful, but, hopefully he can play. I mean, I picked the Warriors to win the series, but I would like to see the Kings win the series, and I just want to, I just want to see these teams go at it full strength. It's been great, and I'm not gonna sit here and say I know the exact number, but in best of 7 series that are tied 2-2, whoever wins Game 5 wins the series 90% of the time.
Facts.
So I mean, it makes sense because you're gonna win 2 in a row, but yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame. Hopefully he can play. I mean, even if he plays and be close to 100%, because obviously if he plays and he doesn't look the same, it's gonna suck. So, but yeah, sometimes it happens. Some of these teams, it just seems to fold the right way for them. So, all
right, we're hitting with the big one, man. Aaron Rodgers traded to the New York Jets. It's official now. He got traded for Aaron Rodgers. Well, the Jets get Aaron Rodgers, pick number 15, a 2023 5th-round pick, which is pick number 170. The Packers received the pick number 13, pick number 42, a 6th-round pick, which is pick number 207, and a conditional 2024 2nd-round pick, which becomes a 1st-round pick if Rodgers plays 65% of the plays. So basically a healthy Rodgers next year for 9 games. Get you the Jets number 1 first round pick next year.
Yeah, so essentially it's a 1st and a 2nd round pick. I mean, it is the Jets, so right. We'll see what happens. But I assume that's going to turn into a 1st round pick.
Yeah, I'm assuming it will too. So from the looks of it, you think it's a pretty even swap, or you think somebody got swindled?
No, I think that's fair. I mean, I know there was talk that maybe they'd only have to give up a second round pick or something like that, but the Packers held all the cards there. I mean, Aaron Rodgers. I know there's a little trepidation, there because who knows how long he's going to play, but that roster they have, that defense, some of those guys they have there, you gotta take a chance. You have Aaron Rodgers. I mean, I know he had like a down year last year. But I mean, he's going to a team that has way more talent than that Packers team, and I still think he can be a bad man. And get him out of the NFC. Get him out of the NFC. Send everybody to the AFC.
To our division. We're definitely at the bottom with the Bills, Josh Allen and those guys, and you got the Jets stepping up, and then you got the Dolphins with that speed on offense and that defense they putting together they had last year. And if Tua, who knows if Tua didn't have the concussion where they would have been last year as well. So our division is super, super tough. And I don't know.
The
man.
AFC is just. I mean, and who's the? Where is Aaron Rodgers the fourth, fifth best quarterback in the AFC? Sixth? I mean, based on last year, it's just. I mean, obviously you got. I mean, Mahomes is number one. Obviously, he's the best quarterback.
Well,
in the
you
NFL.
got Mahomes. You got
Burrow, Allen. I mean, it's just.
Some people might put Lamar over him. You're right.
I mean, I'm still probably putting Rodgers ahead of everybody but Burrow and Mahomes, I think.
So you're basing it off history or you're basing it off 2023?
Yeah, I mean, both. I would say a little bit of both. I think he had, I mean, even in a down year last year, Rodgers still wasn't that bad. You know what I mean?
He wasn't great last year.
He wasn't great, but I mean, when you
he wasn't really that good either.
But when you talk about quarterbacks having like down years, like that's not really, he was like 22-10 last year. I think was that his numbers. And
let me ask you a quick question: would you want Aaron Rodgers this year or Dak Prescott?
If I'm trying to win a championship, I'd probably take Aaron Rodgers.
Yikes! Okay,
I'd probably take Aaron Rodgers.
Hey, we're gonna.
I like to look at the full. I mean, I'm not going to lie here. I'm not going to lie to you. You know what I mean? Like it's not. I mean, obviously going forward, I'd probably you're talking about like for the next 8 years, I'm probably going to take Dak. You know what I mean? But right now, if I could take Aaron Rodgers on that current Cowboys team, I would take him for sure.
Right.
I'm going to look at history, not just one. Like I said, even with Dak, Dak's had 6 good years and 1 kind of bad year. You know what I mean? So it's.
So let's get into the meat and potatoes. This pod, LK's pod number 37. NFL draft going down. Kansas City this Thursday night, 8 p.m.
Love the draft.
Yeah, it's always fun, especially I think about the kids and their families that you've technically, you got 31 draft picks this year. One got forfeited by the Dolphins, the 20th pick for tampering or something like that. And just thinking that 31 families lines finna change overnight. The money that they finna get from these NFL teams getting drafted in the first round is amazing. And, shout out to those kids. Shout out to everybody that's getting drafted. And
it's just anything with the NFL, man. NFL is king, man. It's just amazing. Like nobody really cares. I mean, people watch the NBA draft too, I guess a little bit too, but there's not. I mean, it's the only
draft that people really sit down and watch.
Yeah, like the way the NFL is. I mean, they're just the king. They're just the king. There'll be like NBA playoff games on Thursday, and people are going to be watching.
Yeah, I'm a split screen. Well, yeah. I have this TV on and this TV on.
It's gonna be crazy. People, it's like that many people. Like we're, like if I could only watch one, I'd probably watch the draft.
It's fun, man. Only thing about the draft, I can say for the first round, it's just the amount of time
it takes a long time.
Yeah, I was like, come on, man, you know who you want. Come on, let's do it. But, they drag it out. Then day 2, I'm really a day 2 guy. I like round 2 and 3 because some of those guys that you watch in bowl games and some of the quote-unquote no names, I hate to say that about the kids, but they get picked. Oh, I remember him. He played for Missouri. He made that tackle. You be like, oh, okay, gotcha. He played. And then some of those day 2 guys goes to be Hall of Famers and great players.
Yeah, I mean.
And day 3 guys, et cetera.
Tom Brady.
Facts. And I know some guys that in the draft this year, some young bucks, man. I'm praying that they get drafted, and you always root for your college team to get their players picked and stuff like that. So that's one of those things. So let's jump into it. We're going to do a kind of a mock draft, kind of sort of. We're just going to go through some of the teams. Maybe we ain't going to make it to all 31, but we're going to say a team, say a player who we think they're going to draft, or a position that we think they're going to draft. And we'll see how we do Thursday night. We ready to rumble?
Let's do it.
You gotta play your favorite theme music.
Time to play the game. Time to play the game.
Wild Cherry Pepsi might be top 5 soda. Honestly.
Top 5? Yeah, I would. I don't even. I know I'd probably have to start naming them, but yeah, definitely top 5.
Shit good. All right. Pick number 1. Panthers got number 1 pick. They traded for Chicago, which Chicago ended up getting DJ Moore and a couple other picks. We'll go, not going to go into in depth, but they ended up trading their first round. So Panthers got the number 1 pick now. Chicago got the number 9 pick. Goodell goes out. Carolina Panther with the number 1 pick in the 2023 draft. Select Bryce Young, quarterback, Alabama. Sound good?
Same good. I mean, yeah, he is the big betting favorite now too. Minus 2,400 now.
Oh, yeah,
it jumped.
sure.
It even jumped from yesterday. It was like 1,200. It doubled again. So
yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. These other guys are. I mean, it's just, the numbers have really significantly gone up a lot. So,
all right, pick number 2 in the NFL draft, Houston, Texas. Select. I got Tyree Wilson, edge rusher, Texas Tech.
yeah, I mean, I'm saying him or Will Anderson.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah,
really.
I mean, if they stay there too, because now all the reports are that they're not going to take a quarterback. They brought in a defensive coach. I mean, it's still. I mean,
Yeah.
I have no problem with them doing that too, because I don't. Outside of Bryce Young and CJ Stroud a little bit, I don't love the quarterbacks in this draft class. So it's going to be deep next year, and they still have.
They got the number 12 pick as well.
Yeah,
so.
and who? Why am I drawing a blank? The kid they drafted 2 years ago that played. The quarterback that they drafted from Stanford.
I can't think of his
that played
name.
a lot last year,
I
but
don't know shit much
he
about
showed some more. Right? But and you know, he hasn't been good. He hasn't been good.
Who's
but
technically they quarterback right now?
He played Mills. Davis
Oh,
Mills.
Davis Mills.
Davis
Yeah.
Mills,
I didn't
yeah.
know he played for Stanford. I knew who that person
Yeah.
was though.
Yeah, he you know,
They when they got somebody else too, right? Then they get like
they might have brought in a veteran. Like
I want to say Tyrod, but then I don't.
you know, like Brissett, and I think Tyrod's still in with the Giants. So
maybe it's the blue I'm thinking about.
yeah,
But they gonna have to get one this draft.
But Davis Mills, you know, I mean, he's give that guy. He's he's had no talent around him. So and then again, you know, he just try to get some good players around there and tank for Caleb.
Which I like big time.
or the North Carolina kid too. Those guys are right now.
Is the kid from Miami coming out next year? Oh, he got one more year.
No, I mean he did a nose. He was supposed to be this. He was supposed to be one of the guys this year.
Oh, that's Case Keenum. They got to back up over there.
So I think Van Dyke, unless he does something this year, he's a guy that was like he was the Rattler from a couple years ago that was like he's going to be the number 1 pick next year, and then now he's not even talked about. He's still playing college ball 2 years later. So
True. Number 3, Arizona Cardinals on the clock. Arizona selects Will Anderson.
same him or Tyree, whichever one doesn't go before, unless there's a trade. You know, of course, obviously, we're not factoring in trades here.
All right, I think this is where I shake it up. With the number 4 pick, the Indianapolis Colts, I don't know if you can see the bandit pennant over there, selects Will Levis, Kentucky.
I mean, I want to agree with you. I'm looking at it like who would if I'm there, if it goes like it is now, I'm taking CJ Stroud.
True.
I'm taking him. But I think it might be. I think there's a good chance it might be Will Levis, however you say it. Like I just think he's the favorite. It's funny, he's the favorite. He's actually, and he's the betting favorite to be the number 2 pick.
He's just such a colt, like, you know, white quarterback, powerful arm, can move a little bit. He's not going to ever be Andrew Luck, but he just had that powerful arm. He can move around. I'm not sure about his accuracy yet. He's ripped. Can't put that pass. And the guy's ripped. He been in the gym. He
he's
just looked
jacked.
like a
He's
coach,
jacked.
man. He
He's
just
jacked.
looked like what the owner want.
He looks too big to be a quarterback. Honestly, I mean, they're looking for he reminds people of Josh Allen. That's the thing. That's why people like his style, because he can run and he can, and he's got a super strong arm. I mean, Josh Allen he made a huge developments in his pro game, but I mean, I don't see.
Before Josh Allen made that hump, we was write him off. Like that was his last
sure.
year. It was like, oh, Josh Allen will do it this year.
Josh Allen made adjustments and leaps that most quarterbacks don't make. Like, usually you can't go from being that inaccurate to being that accurate. Usually, like you can improve it a little bit. You've seen guys get a little bit better as they get as they get used. But he made huge. I mean, he was completing like 50% of his passes to like almost 70, which you don't usually see that kind of jump. I just don't trust. I mean, I know it's a little bit different now because you don't have to give these guys these big contracts like you used to, before they changed things. But I don't really love anybody. I don't love this quarterback draft class. I wouldn't reach for one of these guys, but that's not what the NFL teams do. So
facts. Number 5 pick. Seattle got this pick from Denver in that trade for Russell Wilson. Seattle Seahawks on the clock. Pete Carroll and them boys, they draft Jalen Carter, Georgia.
Agree.
Correct.
Agree. But like we were saying, like I said, if something happens and Stroud or somebody's still on the board here, you might see, ding, 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 trade, ding, 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 trade.
Somebody trade up to try to get
this is where I think because the Raiders pick at 7 and they might be interested in quarterback. We'll get there in a second, but I think that's a spot. If
gave Jimmy G a little too much to draft one this year. Now next year, if they in the middle of the pack or bottom up, I think he can move up for.
I think it's only one. But if they're drafting one of these guys, unless they trade up to 2 and get C.J. Stroud, which they're probably not going to do, I think whatever quarterback they take is going to be a project guy. Levy and
I think Anthony Richardson is a great project guy.
Those are both they're both project guys. So I think that would not be it wouldn't be crazy to keep Jimmy G and get one of those guys. So, but I mean, if we're making predictions, I think somebody moves into the 2 or 3 spot and takes one of these. If the rumors are true and Houston's not going to take a quarterback, I think I'd be surprised if somebody doesn't move up into 2 or 3.
I'm pretty sure Houston not taking quarterback. Yeah. But D'Amico Ryans, he a big defensive guy. He gonna want to build his defense up. And then, like I said, when this number 12 pick come up, depending on one of those big guys drop, he'll grab them. But we'll get to that. Number 6, Detroit Lions had a great season last year. They traded away, I guess technically, the number 1 cornerback, kind of sort of Udoka to the Falcons. So I think they refill that spot with Christian Gonzalez, cornerback.
I think they take
O-line.
I think they take Witherspoon or Gonzalez. They take one. I think, again, I agree with one of the corners. Again, if there's talking about some of these like weird things, if trades happen, if somebody moves up and ahead and jumps Seattle, I could see Jalen Carter going there too. If more quarterbacks go ahead of them there.
Yeah, you can't get wrong with Witherspoon or Christian Gonzalez right here. I just like Gonzalez a little more. He's a little quicker for me. He's not as afraid to tackle. I like him a little better. He got a 4.38 speed. Witherspoon is I got them confused. Witherspoon is the great tackler.
Yes.
And Gonzalez is he's just a great, his technique, he's agile. But Witherspoon can go up there and make that tackle. He don't mind bumping in coverage, and I mean you can't go wrong with it. Just depending on what kind of scheme.
The book on the guys that they're both supposed to be good, but like Witherspoon is supposed to be like the safer pick, and Gonzalez is the guy that could be like has the higher upside, but has a little bit more gamble in him.
Right. So. He a ball hawk, so he tried to go get that thing. And the number 7, I think we had the Raiders. Whoever's available, Devin Witherspoon or Christian Gonzalez, whoever's in that number 7, I think they can pick it.
I think the Raiders are such a wild card. I think they need
some defense.
They could go Richardson here. I mean, they do. I 100% agree, but it's the Raiders. They'll do, like I said, the Raiders will probably do something great. They'll trade up to 2 and take Levy probably. Like that's what they do. The Raiders always do. They trade up and they do all these crazy things and they reach on guys. They reach on guys. It's what they do. It's what they've always done. I mean, back to some of these guys when they took the guy that's in jail now. the receiver from Alabama.
I know you're talking about. I ain't gonna say.
But they took him. They took him ahead of Ruggs. Yeah. They took Ruggs ahead of CD, ahead of Jefferson. Yeah, the DWI. Remember, he killed somebody.
He's oh man.
But like those guys, the Ruggs. They took Ruggs ahead of CD Lamb, Justin Jefferson, Jerry Jeudy. They took him ahead of all those guys. I mean,
but he was coming along. Yeah, last season.
But he was not supposed to be the. He was not supposed to be the best one out of those guys, and they reached up. They did that other remember Bayless, that guy they took here. They took Colin Farrell, whatever his name is. They have a knack for. They're almost as bad as the Pats with Belichick thinking he's smarter than everybody. Like taking these
that's
strange.
Guys. I couldn't believe they drafted strange kid, but he didn't do terrible this year. I can't say he held his own. He wasn't a top 5 guard or anything like this, even top 10. But he was in the middle of the pack, and hope he make the next step. Number 8 pick, Atlanta Falcons, hometown team, Big A. This is where I had a few problems. I got a couple things I think I would like the Falcons to do. I'm going to go with my fantasy wildest pick. I think they should draft Bijan Robinson. That's just me. I think that'll be.
I think that was on my. I have that on my. I think this is the first possible spot he could go.
Yeah, I think you should get him. I understand.
I wouldn't draft him there, but you could.
I understand the type of season Aguilar had for you being a rookie last year, end up pounding that rock at the end. But I just think, and you still got Cordell Patterson there. He's on his last legs. I just think he's a world talent, and
I don't disagree. I think they need too much.
Yeah.
I think they need too much. I think this is a spot for. I think Nolan Smith, maybe the local boy. I'm
going offensive line. The Broderick Jones, a Georgia boy. I think they both that line up. Try to get Desmond running a little more time.
Nolan Smith, I do. Like I said, I think it could be Bijan, and then also they released Hayward yesterday. Their corner, so that could be if Gonzalez or
one of those guys,
one of the guys are available. That could be a spot there too. But yeah, no, I mean,
Bijan, I went O line. I think they're gonna bolster that O line for Desmond Ritter. They're gonna really try to give him a chance to play and win. Yeah. They bolstered that defense all summer.
Yeah, they signed. They brought some. They got some O line help too, and in the offseason. So I mean, again, I think. I'm a big believer. Unless you have a real need, I love taking the best guy on the board. Whoever your I love my team generally likes to do that. And it's
they do need a few things though.
But
I wouldn't be mad if they go get Jackson or one of those wide receivers to put on the other side of Drake London and him and Kyle Pitts struggles so far.
Sexy pick. That's a sexy pick for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think they need too much. I think they really probably need to go defensive side of the ball probably too, but we'll see. But again, like I said, I'm not going to – any of those guys we just mentioned, I'm going to be okay with them taking. So
Chicago 9th pick. I'm going O-line. I'm going Peter Skoskansky. I can't say his name quite right, but I think they're just going – you got to protect that shit Fields went through last year. Whatever the best old tackle on the board like you said, it's not the prettiest pick or the pick that your team want, but end of the day, you got to get some people to protect. It's Broderick Jones there that I was just talking about as well from Georgia. You got to draft that kid. I really like him a lot, though. He's a big fella. We got a kid from my hometown, Marius Mill, probably coming out after this year as well. They keep SEC keeps some good tackles and guards. You really can't go wrong with any of them if you for honest, because they in the trenches every week. These same defensive guys we talk about, the Will Andersons and things, they face these guys week in, week out. So, but I think they go offensive line.
Yeah, or maybe even the kid from Ohio State, Paris Johnson. Yeah. Even a guy I like, a tackle I like that's being talked a little bit after those guys, and the kid from Northwestern, like you said, is like the kid from Tennessee, Darnell Wright. I like him as a player too.
They got him going to us, but
a little bit later. But I mean. I think it makes a lot of sense to go offensive line here. The Bears could use some defense too, so it wouldn't be shy if they went with like the Purdue's guy, the Iowa kid, Lucas Van Ness or something like that. I think he could go there too. But yeah, I
think they're gonna have to outscore people this year.
But if I'm drafting, I want to try to help protect. I want to try to protect. Justin Fields a little bit. I mean, I
think he can get it done.
Not that he needs it. I mean, we have to see. We have to see. He's got to show us. He's got to show us he can beat you with his arm too. We know he can beat you with his legs, but we'll see.
All right, number 10 pick, the best team in the NFC East, the Eagles. Won the division last year, went to the Super Bowl.
You must be out of your goddamn mind.
You must be out of your goddamn mind.
I mean, they are, but I mean,
Technically, yes.
technically.
You know, everybody got old Bijan going. Eagles.
No.
I mean,
No.
I have it wrote down, but
it's a possibility for sure. It makes a ton of sense. I mean,
Yeah.
they unless you really think Rashad Penny and those guys, he's going to really carry the load for you this year with Scott and those other guys. But, again, it's high. 10 is still high. Teams don't like to take backs here. I think more like 26 range is a good spot for a back, but that's, but yeah, I mean, it could be him again. I think the Eagles, if it's not him,
Eagles trade back right here.
I mean, they could. I mean, they have a bunch of picks already. I think they could also be in. This is another spot for offensive line because they're getting, some of their guys are getting up there in age. They lost one of their tackles.
Jinkies. Just thought about something. Eagles trade the 10th pick and there's 4th or 5th round pick or some type of pick to Tennessee Titans for Derrick Henry, and the Titans got the 10th and the 11th pick.
Yeah, I don't think I mean, if they're going to end up with Derrick Henry, I hope that's what they do. But Derrick Henry is not worth a first round pick anymore. The team's not going to give up a first round pick for Derrick Henry. I don't think. I think for a team like the Eagles who are trying to win a Super Bowl, that makes some sense. And I would maybe think.
Now
about
that I said that out loud, first round is a lot for a guy that maybe 2-3 more years. So.
Yeah, and I mean, there's talks that he may just get released. Like that's I mean, which is so crazy, but that's just how these teams feel about running backs and stuff like that. My guy Zeke ruined it for everybody.
Zeke ain't signed yet, has he?
No, he still hasn't. So they're shattered. Like, does he end up going? Obviously, if the Cowboys don't end up drafting him, does he go back to Dallas? So, but they're still. I mean, I think he'll end up somewhere. But
yeah, he still can get it done in the goal line.
Yeah, and he's a great pass blocker too. He's like as good as a pass blocker running back.
He still got them hands. It's hard to lose those hands. I mean, he always caught the ball well his whole career. So,
I think the Eagles could also. I think down here they could also go again, depending on the way the picks go, they could go one of those two corners if they're still there, because Bradbury and Slayer both coming back, but they're both.
I like the Banks kid too.
They're both over.
Banks.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll go quite this high, but again,
I still like him.
Yeah, from Maryland.
Yeah, he's a
player.
kid, very physical. Number 11 pick, Tennessee Titans. I think you got to pick whatever's best available. Your team needs everything. I mean, literally.
Yeah, if one of the quarterbacks are still available, they probably jump on them here. But yeah, again,
I got C.J. Stroud on my paper for people that want to know, but I think C.J. Stroud gets drafted right here. Malik Willis out of town. Tannehill on his last leg. Tannehill might get traded to a contender mid-season. Who knows?
Yeah, released, outright released, something like that. I mean, they're still. But yeah, there's the tenant. This is, I mean, that's probably as much as a wild card pick as anybody. They can literally go in so many different directions. So,
number 12, Houston Texans back on the clock. I think it's a no doubter. You got to go get another wide receiver there to go beside. What you got, Michi coming back. He's clean. He's healthy now. He had leukemia or something, right?
Yeah, he had I don't want to say like a less serious cancer, you know what I mean? Something that's, high survival rate and stuff like that. But yeah, he should be back on 100%.
Yeah, you match him up with Davis Mill. You get you another weapon out there for him to throw to. I think they go wide receiver, whoever they think.
Yeah, they brought in Robert Woods and Noah Brown from the Noah Brown from the Cowboys, but again, those are not. They're not. And Robert, I love me some Bobby Woods. But he's not. He's not. But and I like my favorite receiver in this draft is I like JSN from Ohio State, Jackson Smith. Nijaba, and I'm not exactly sure how you say that, but
JSN.
JSN. That's just the easiest way to say it. He's the guy I like there. So I mean. Originally, when they were supposed to have that first pick, it was nice. You take like Bryce Young and snag one of these receivers, but I think they still, I think they go skill position here, and that's to me he's the best guy available.
With the number 13 pick now is the Packers, since they traded their picks in the trade with the Jets.
I generally don't, these mock drafts and these guys picking, but like everybody has them taking Kincaid from Utah. Like 90% of the mocks I've seen, it's just be so funny as they trade Aaron Rodgers and then take a skill position guy in the first round, which they have not done the whole Aaron Rodgers era.
They haven't.
But I think it makes sense. They want to, Love's going to, the young quarterback, get him he's the,
Tonyan not still there?
What's that?
Tonyan's still there, right?
Who?
Robert Tonyan.
Oh no, he's not there. He's a free agent. I don't know if he signed I don't know if he signed anywhere, but Kincaid, I like it. He's on my list of guys I like in this. I actually love this tight end. In general, I love this.
I like the kid from Notre Dame.
Yeah, Meyer. I'm a fan of this draft class. There's even some guys that are going to go a little bit later.
Robert Tonyan is on the Chicago Bears.
Is that where he ended up signing?
Hold on.
So he'll be the backup there. Or tight end too.
Let's see. But I like the tight end. I like Kincaid and my what's his name, Myers. It don't say where he's playing ball. Oh yeah, he's on Chicago Bears. So him and
tight end too there.
Yeah, him and Komet there with DJ Moore, Mooney, Claypool, and you got who's in that backfield now? Herbert and who else?
I don't know if they did. I think it's Herbert. Did they sign? I don't know. I don't think they signed anybody. Maybe they did.
But Chicago, they got a chance to win that division this year. Why not go for it?
Yeah, they should be in the conversation if Fields can make the next step and they can play some kind of defense.
Yeah, that's true. I think they'll address it for this Deontay Foreman.
Oh, they brought in Foreman. That's right.
Yeah,
so Foreman and Herbert. So,
you got to form the offense. Just got to get it done. Go out there and play.
Yeah, they ran the ball like crazy last year. So
let's move on. Number 13 pick. We just did that. Packers. Number 14.
Boo.
Man, I want to crank us up. I ain't got nothing to crank us up with, but the best team. Nah. New England Patriots. My sexy pick is Zay Flowers. I would love him to be on our team. I love his little quick self. But they're going to probably go O-line, the tackle from Tennessee, Darnell Wright. We got to bolster that line some more. We got Strange last year. We got to see if I think this is Mac Jones last year to see can he get it done. Mac Jones don't get it done this year. Even though he got an uphill battle with the division, he got to play those guys 6 times a year. But if you show signs, I think you'll still be there. If not, you're going to see some Zappy this year. And then next year, if we really just suck it out this year, which I wouldn't mind us doing, and try to go get Caleb Williams next year, that'll be perfect. And who knows?
You guys really have to tank to get that.
Yeah, you're right. But I'm just, hopefully.
I don't know if Belichick has that in him.
He does. He's going to try to win some games.
He's too good of a coach for you guys to win like
500 team again.
You guys will be better than you should because he's, as much as I can't stand the fucking guy, he's a great coach.
I can see us going to get Deontay Banks as well, get another cornerback as well. It just either or. But like I said, my sexy pick, what I would love to have on my football team is Zay Flowers. If JSN in there, I don't give a damn Belichick. If JSN slips to 14,
you're not taking him.
What? He wouldn't. Belichick wouldn't do it. But I would love for that.
Well, other thing too is if he doesn't go there, maybe I could even see maybe that's the Packers taking him instead of the tight end too to give Love who's Love throwing the ball to now.
Watson, Dobbs.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
but yeah, my sexy pick would be
Zay Flowers. Yeah, Zay Flowers. I like Zay Flowers too. I probably have him as like my 3rd or 4th receiver in this draft, but I do like him a lot too.
So who you got to face again?
I think they're going to go boring too. I think they're going to go a line, whether it's Paris Johnson, the guy from Northwestern, Darnell Wright, all those guys. I think that's also. I think if they decide to go defense, I could see them maybe going after the kid from Clemson.
Yeah,
I could see that maybe being there. Miles, what's his name again? Miles Murphy. Miles Murphy, the edge guy. So that could be a little landing spot for him there as well too.
Number 15 pick is the Jets now. I think they go, offensive line, Paris Johnson.
Whoever the best tackle is there, I think. I don't think they do. I just don't think they do anything else. They got Rodgers. They got Rodgers now.
Your offense intact, your defense pretty intact.
They got some offensive line guys coming back, but just try to shore that up a little bit, give Rodgers a little bit more protection. They have weapons. They got a great defense. Like I just can't. I mean, I don't see them. I just can't see them taking unless some really great defensive player, like Jalen Carter's still on the board or something like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like if he really took one of those like Warren Sapp slides or something like that. But like, yeah, I can't imagine them not drafting him either. So.
All right, pick number 16, the Washington Commanders. I got them drafting. If Deontay Banks still there, I think they got Banks, or they go. They can go Emmanuel Forbes, kid from Mississippi State as well. So, but I think they go defense. I think Mike Tomlin, he always, Mike Tomlin always love a great defense. You already get T.J. Watt, hopefully a healthy season this year. Most of their defense.
Those Commanders. So
I went 16.
Okay, no, but you said Mike Tomlin. That's why you said Mike Tomlin.
Oh, sorry.
So,
I was thinking about the number 17 pick, but number 16.
The Rivera is the defensive guy too. So
yeah, so I think they just go DB here.
Yeah, I think that's a smart. I mean, I'm Joey Porter Jr. I mean, obviously the story of him going to Pittsburgh next would be a way better story, of course. But I think again, the corner from Maryland here could go there. I don't think it happens. This is another spot too, where if like Richardson or Levy still happen to be on the board or something like that, maybe because they supposedly they like Sam Howell. They brought in Jacoby Brissett, but you have a guy to try to a chance to get a talent like Anthony Richardson, who again, like I'm not, I mean, we'll see. I'm not high in this quarterback class, but that's
pick 17.
We'll see where he ends up.
Pittsburgh Steelers. Then again, I would love Joey Porter Jr. to go there. Yeah, I would love for that.
I think they go. I think that would be a great pick and story too. I agree. I don't agree for the Hollywood story. Yeah. I think this is another spot for it. I think they go offensive line. I think this is probably where Darnell Wright goes, or if Darnell Wright goes ahead of one of those other guys, they think they have their quarterback.
Oh, pick
with the small hands.
No,
he did. I mean, you're gonna roll with them now at least for another year or so. So, why don't you try to, again, you're gonna invest in a quarterback. You might as well try to protect them. They have some weapons. They have some weapons. I think, the Georgia boy. I think he's gonna be if Pickett and Pickens, if Pickett can make another step, I think Pickens.
Pickens, you still got Deontay Johnson there. You still got Fairmouth.
And they just traded for Allen Robinson.
Yeah,
who's I don't. If you listen to the pod and fantasy, I'm not an A-Rob guy anymore
at all.
But again, I mean, it's some depth there. They definitely have some weapons there. So. Let's protect the quarterback and see what can happen there in another tough division as well.
Number 18 pick is Detroit Lions back on the clock. I think you got to go cornerback with you trading away Adoku. You got to fill that position. So I'm just going DB again.
Yeah, I think Detroit's in a position too. They think they could go defensive. They think they should probably go defensive. They need their offense is pretty good. Again, this is another spot where I've seen some stuff too. Is if Bijan's here.
Yeah.
It's another landing spot for another spot for Bijan. They did bring in. They
got Swift and Montgomery.
They got Swift and Montgomery, but again, Swift is. I think he's a free agent after this year, so you're probably not going to sign him. That's just what teams don't do. So sign a guy that can be your running back for the next 4 years before you have to pay him. But yeah, there's been a lot of clatter about the Kalijah Cansey, the defensive tackle from Pittsburgh, who's probably the second best. This is not really not a good defensive tackle draft this year, but he's kind of widely regarded as the second best guy. But yeah, I think
they can go anyway.
Yeah, they can go a lot.
When you go to this second part of this.
Especially here is where I really start going best value, but.
Number 19 pick.
They're solid on the offensive line. They have a great offensive line. So
Detroit got a chance to win that division. It's going to be all of them with Green Bay just going by with Chicago, Detroit, Minnesota. Which I guess Minnesota technically the leader to win that division, but Detroit Lions had a great season last year. I'm going to say Brown, all those guys. But
Minnesota, Detroit are probably the two favorites, and then Chicago. And then, although, I mean, that's probably, who knows? We'll see what happens after the draft and free agency ends officially.
Number 19 pick, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on the clock. They go get Brian Branch, kid from Alabama. I really like him. He's considered a safety, but he can play. He can go. He can defend. He can guard 1-on-1s and slide and things of that nature. I really like him a lot. Tampa Bay ain't got nothing to lose. Why not go defense?
Yeah, again, they're rebuilding, so I would go. There's really nothing that they don't need. Tampa Bay.
True.
I actually have them taking Jones from Georgia, Broderick Jones, if he slips this far. I know Bijan's gonna be another guy here again, but again, I don't think I take, although they can take anything. If I'm Tampa, I don't think I take the running back. I think I try to. I mean, I would maybe, if I was Tampa Bay, I'd maybe try to, if Bijan's not off the board, I might freaking try to move this pick to like the Dallas Cowboys, so they could just come up and snag somebody like Bijan. Maybe that might be a good move. Help out another NFC brother. But yeah, I mean, there's so many different ways they can go. But I think they go O-line.
That's what
try
Seattle.
to protect Baker Mayfield.
Right.
Who's the Tampa Bay quarterback, if people didn't know that as of now.
Bruh.
Seattle on the clock at the pick number 20. I think they go O-line. They just try to both of the O-line for Geno. I like the kid from Florida, Torrance, inside O-lineman. He can play either guard. He can even play even some center in college. So I think you just go there and keep him up. And then you got Kenny Walker back there. I mean, see what happens.
Yeah, probably not a spot for Bijan. Probably not. No. But I think that's another spot for, they need some help on the offensive line. Also, their weakness last year was which was not the normal for Seattle, is their defense. So I think that's a spot for them.
They overperformed a little bit, though. They had a lot of rookies on that defense. So, and then if they go Jalen Carter with the fifth pick, I think
then add like a Miles Murphy here though, or something like that too, to get a pass rusher. They'll go with Jalen Carter there. That's that's how they did it before. That was their formula before was run the ball and play a really good defense. So I think any one of those guys could be a real solid pick.
Number 21 pick, the LA Chargers select Bijan if he's there. That'd be perfect.
Funny, it's like Bijan's like every pick.
Yeah, because Eckler, he said it'll be damn near a miracle for him to go back to the Chargers. So who knows? He might be talking to get him a check. I hope he get his money. But if he's not there, I think they go defense. You're so uncertain with Jones last year being hurt. Not in his last name, he was with us year before and got the big contract, and he got injured. J.C. Jackson,
yeah.
Yeah, who knows? Is he going to be healthy again this year? So you can go DB. I mean, Chargers.
Yeah, everybody on that defense was hurt last year, so they're definitely an underachieving team from last year. So It's interesting. They have what's his name too, the pass rusher from the Raiders and the Bears. Khalil Mack, who was injured most of the year last year too. So it's like I don't think they go pass rush.
I think they go DB.
Yeah, I mean that seems to make sense. I mean, is there a chance with the injury history there too that is this a spot for Zay Flowers or Quentin Johnson from or
I like Addison
or Addison, one of those guys is the spot too to bring in a receiver that I love me some
Keenan Allen.
I love Keenan Allen. I love Keenan. Mike Allen. I like Mike Williams, but he's always hurt.
You still got Joshua Palmer there. The
guy sneezes and he gets hurt.
But he only run goals, so I don't understand why he gets so hurt.
But so maybe. But again, more likely they go on the defensive side of there.
Number 22 pick, the Baltimore Ravens on the clock. I think they go Quentin Johnston.
Receiver. I think they go receiver. Even bringing in Odell, I think they bring in whoever their top receiver on the board. That's
Look what we got, Lamar. Come on now. I think you got to present something to him. Like when they got a big guy in Quentin Johnson, go get your deep balls. You got I guess Odell's technically number one, but the number two kind of routes. Then you got Bateman to be back to run those slots and stuff. I don't know. You can toy with it, try to get him to come on back. You still got Andrews at tight end. Look, we got a team to get it done. Our defense still going to be okay. Come on back to us so we can try to go get us one. Pick number. Go ahead.
No, I'm good.
All right, pick number 23, the Minnesota Vikings. I'm finna throw a monkey wrench in the game.
Are you gonna pick my guy here? Are you gonna pick my guy?
Hendon Hooker.
God, what
seriously?
Yeah, I was thinking that. Like I was thinking that too. I don't think they're gonna take him, but I think it's a possible. I actually thought maybe even I could say even there's a chance the Ravens take him too. I thought about doing that with. Now I kind of wish I'd done it with the Ravens pick, but now, yeah. I mean, this is the last year of guaranteed. This is the last year on Kirk Cousins' contract. So unless they make like if they made a deep run, I mean, which I guess you still, I think Hooker's a project too.
I think he's a little more mature. You got to forget Hooker's like what 25 years old.
Yeah,
or some shit.
He's another guy. He's another guy that's up there. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about him. I think he might be a system guy, but I do think people like him. So I guess I'll try to side with that.
You can't go wrong with the kid you was talking about, Casey from Pittsburgh. He went to Pitt.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can go anywhere with that team.
I mean, they have a defensive coach.
I wouldn't mind getting somebody across from Jefferson.
Yeah,
get some help over there too. No, Thielen didn't do much as we used to him doing, but you got KJ Osborne gonna have to step it up. You still got Irv Smith at tight end. I can see a lot of ways you can go with this, but both in that defense because y'all gave up a lot of points last year, and
that defense was like all time bad. I mean, the Giants looked good on offense against them.
Oh, he's throwing shots. I hear those shots being thrown.
What shots? It's a fact.
I ain't gonna shoot them.
Facts.
Jaguars at the number 24 pick. I got them going. Nolan Smith. Most of that defense put him with his homeboy Walker.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's defense. I think it's defense. The offense is headed in the right direction. They got an offensive coach. The times now, especially the time's not really now in the AFC, but
they ready though.
In that division though, for sure. Trevor Lawrence takes that next step. You know what I mean? Again, that's just if he takes that next step too, that's just like, now it's just quarterbacks like you keep saying the AFC, just insane. I also think this could be also a spot for if he's not off the board yet for Deontay Banks as well too. If he hasn't gone off the board again, I think we can agree defense for the Jags unless there's somebody that
I like Luke Van Ness too. Defense.
Yeah, I think he's off the board. I would be surprised if he's still on the board here, but yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I like him for Iowa. He's very good. He's a big fella too. He's like 275. He got that country in him. He's nonstop. Boy, style. Hey, I would love that's a damn Belichick type of guy too. He love that type of shit. So, all right,
he does.
Pick number 25, the Giants. You got to take the best wide receiver available. Whatever, who's available, Addison, Fly, whatever. I think you got to go wide out, no matter what.
You would think so. I mean, that's if I'm drafting for them, I would go that way. We'll see. Again, I think the Giants have a lot of holes still. True. They think they had I think they overachieved a little bit last year. So if I'm going that, I hope they just take like the highest guy at a certain position because I need. But I would go receiver if I was them as well too. Dun, 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 dun.
The number 26 pick. The Cowboys select
America's team. All
right, let me start over. At the podium, America's team, the Dallas Cowboys, pick number 26. They go Myers.
Bijan.
Tight end from Notre Dame.
Bijan.
I got y'all getting a tight end right here, Myers from Notre Dame. I think.
I agree.
Or if Kincaid somehow magically
there. No, I think Myers makes a lot of sense. They're calling him the Jason Witten. Yeah. Like he's the best blocking tight end in the draft. And he's got really good hands. I hate Notre Dame. But Zach Martin's worked out all right for us.
You did very well with that pick.
If that's the guy, again, I would do anything to get Bijan in a Cowboy uniform and maybe take one of these. Like I said, there's I like this tight end class. There's a guy from Iowa, Sam Laporta. I think that guy. I think that's going to be one of those guys. He's going to go in like the second round, and people in like a year or two and be like, "How is that guy not a first round pick?" So if there's any way, I
don't think
we can pull in
Bijan. Trade up to
get
Bijan.
No, it probably wasn't. I would be okay with that. Bijan, Pollard, pound that rock, and then that's the future. Tag Pollard one more year, then let him walk, and then get Bijan for a couple years. Or, because the Cowboys are win now. Also, they're a win now. Also, so
if you think so. They've been winning now for the past 10, 15 years. Let y'all goddamn.
They're very much, but now in the NFC, the NFC is wide open now. I mean, the NFC is so wide open now.
You must forgot about Jalen Hurts.
No, I forgot. I'm saying, but that's it. A guy that's had one good season in his NFL career. That's had one really good season in his NFL career. So it's open. The Eagles, yes, the Eagles should be the favorites. I'm not saying they're not. But they've lost some guys, and But I'm saying after that, who's the next best team in the NFC? The Niners, who are going to have quarterback questions.
Niners still going to be good.
They should be really good. But I'm saying,
who the quarterback is.
I'm saying, but after,
you can go over there and quarterback for the Niners. They'll be good next year.
Maybe. I mean, look what happened in the NFC Championship game.
Right.
So when they had nobody to play quarterback. But I'm saying after the Eagles and 49ers, though, it's really, who are the best quarterbacks in the NFC?
I'm thinking. I can't think of none right now. Give me some time. I got you on the next one. Pick number 27, the Buffalo Bills. It can go anywhere. I know Stephon Diggs been giving his subliminals. Gabe Davis was disappointing for you last year. If you can get you a good slot guy right here, which I think they went and got one, right? Then they went to go get a slot guy. The Bills went and got somebody this year. I'm not sure, but they're going skill guy. Whoever the best skill guy available, I think the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, it could be Addison, Johnson, one of those guys. I think it makes a lot of sense. They're pretty good on the defensive side of the ball. And like I said, and Gabe Davis was
disappointing.
He was disappointing, and he's entering a contract year too. So
right. Bengals, pick number 28. I'm thinking they're going the best tight end available, either Kincaid or Myers, whoever there, or I can even see them going on the defensive line. If Miles Murphy slipped down, I could see them. Nolan Smith slip down. You got Will McDonald slipping down. That's who I got down on my paper. Edge guy too. So they ready to roll anyway. As soon as you put them on the field, they championship ready. So anything to help them, they would be perfect.
I think they need to go defense. I think they're okay. They could use again if Myers is still there, like if Myers or somehow even Kincaid have not been drafted yet.
Right.
I would think about taking a tight end there because, like I said, there's some guys in the second round. There's some guys later on that they could get. So, but I got to go defense, especially they lost their safety to Atlanta and stuff like that. They lost Bates, so I think they should. They need to bolster. They're fine on that team is fine on offense, so I think they need to bolster the defense. I have them taking DJ Turner, cornerback from Michigan. So
can't go wrong there. Number 29 pick the New Orleans Saints. I got them going defense. Like I said, Miles Murphy would be perfect for them. I think if he's there, or Will McDonald, they got to go edge. You got Cameron Jordan getting older. That division is really not that good, but if you play some defense, you brought in Carr. Hopefully Michael Thomas can be healthy. You got Avile. I keep missing Chris Olivier. There we go. I won't be mad they go get a wide receiver here. Who knows what Michael Thompson going to give you. Michael Thomas. So, Olivier out. Who knows? They need a lot of work as well.
Yeah, I think they go defense. I like them to go defense, interior defense if there's somebody available there. Yeah. I don't think they'll go. They have a defensive coach trying to build that up. I think they got enough weapons there. I think Derek Carr probably feels okay there. Michael Thomas is coming back if he plays.
Right.
If he plays. But yeah, I think they'll worry about some of that stuff in other places. There's still some free agents out there, but I think they got a draft defense there.
Same thing. Pick number 29. Pick 30. Excuse me. The Eagles back in the first round again, which is their original pick. They go defense again. Whoever's available, best available as well.
Yeah, that's a spot where I don't want him to go there, but I like Branch. I like Brian Branch there. I think that's the. They lost Gardner. They lost Gardner Johnson, and Branch is that same kind of.
Which is in Detroit now. I forgot all about that.
Same kind of guy. Another guy, Gardner Johnson, another guy I think he overvalued. He's another guy that overvalued himself, and then only got a 1-year deal with Detroit. But I mean, lucky for Detroit.
Number 31 pick, Kansas City Chiefs.
Wide receiver.
Yeah, pick something. It don't even matter. I mean, they set to go at it again this year. So,
but yeah, I think they go they go somewhere else, of course. But yeah, if any of those guys, Addison, Quentin Johnson, Zay Flower, if any of those guys are there, I think that's where they go. It doesn't seem to matter who he's throwing the ball to.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just. I mean, how do you not just love that dude? He's just like.
I mean, they're good, man. I mean, when you signed that man to that contract, you knew what was going on. Let me try to.
That guy he's on pace to catch your guy. He's actually ahead of the pace, really. Overall, he won't play till he's 45, but he's. I mean, he's got as many Super Bowls at the age. He's got more MVPs. He's got like.
Fuck around, and get cloned or something.
Yeah, I mean the stats wise, he's obviously blowing Brady away, but obviously the winning is what. Yeah. Brady was kind of a game manager the first like 6 or 7 years, and then blew up later on. But yeah,
I'm gonna call out some names. We got a few minutes here left. I'm gonna call out some names. There's some day 2 guys.
Sam Laporta.
He's gonna be good. I like Jack Campbell, linebacker from Iowa. I can see him moving up. I like Laporta. I like Mozzie Smith, D lineman. I'm just looking at him right now. I'm going through. I like Derek Hall from Auburn. I think he can do very well. Tank Dell from Houston.
Deuce Vaughn.
Deuce
Vaughn, the running back from Kansas State. Another guy that's just kind of like a good story. And you probably heard more about him last year. And he probably will get drafted. He will probably be a day 3 guy. Is Andre Carter? He's from Army, which is great. Obviously, serving our country and things like that. Going to obviously a really smart kid if he's going to if he's at the if he's at West Point. But he had 2021 he had 15.5 sacks and kind of was starting to get like everybody's attention. And last year he only had like 3.5 sacks. But he's probably a little bit of a project, but a good story. It'd be nice to see that guy get drafted and then eventually turn into a player.
If the Eagles don't draft Bijan at number 10, I can see them, now that I'm looking at some things, at the 30th, I can see them going and get Jahmyr Gibbs. That would be
from
perfect.
Alabama.
Yeah. I like the kid from Texas A&M, Devin Akaney.
I think that's how you say it.
I think he's going to be good. I mean, I think he's the top 3 prospect right now, if I'm not mistaken. Let me look it up. But I like him, and I like the kid from UCLA as well, Zach Charbonnet or something.
Yeah.
Charbonnet or something.
There's always good running back value in drafts now, like 2nd, 3rd, 4th round. These guys just like, not to say whatever some of these running backs are like a dime a dozen, but it's just, in the right system, it just, and I mean, there's just so many guys now you see that just get drafted later. Like you don't have to take running back high anymore, even though I know I keep on pushing for Bijan for my boys, but just how it is. I do just guys I know we mentioned. I like I said, I like JSN a lot. Is to be the best receiver, and I actually I like Quentin Johnson. He's my second favorite. He just, to me, and no, it's funny. The main reason why I say this is like watching him play. He looks like a pro.
I like it.
He just
don't
looks.
Get me wrong. I like his game.
No. I'm not saying you didn't like him. I'm saying
he
he just looks like a guy that's going to play on Sundays and be good. He just has that. He looks like an NFL receiver. The tape, look at the tape, a real football, not just the measurables, because I know he's not the fastest guy. He's a big boy. He's a big receiver, but he's not the fastest guy, but I like him to be a player for sure.
Stetson Bennett gets drafted.
I think he does. I know there's a lot of he's 32. How old is he? He's 32. I mean, not that he needs to get drafted. The guy will never have to work a day in his life in Georgia ever again. He can just, and he'll be governor. He'll be the governor of Georgia someday, probably. Yeah, the rumors are that he's doing really bad in the interview. It's funny, after the national, people were like, he might be a third round. He might actually go as high as a second or third round. Because he ran like a 4.6. He ran like a 4.6 too. But he's losing the interview process. Apparently, I guess he's cocky in the wrong way. Mm-hmm. You know, like you got a guy like Joe Burrow's kind of cocky, but like you kind of like the way he is. Like I
mean, he won 2 natties back to back. I think he'll be.
Got to his head a little bit.
Yeah,
got to his head a little bit.
I'm looking through some of these wide receivers. I like Jalen Hyatt. We didn't mention his name. Yeah. Josh Down from North Carolina. I mentioned that Dale a little earlier. I like Marvin Mills from OU. He can be a great slot guy. So I'm just going through some names here.
Yeah, I like Hyatt. A day 2 guy Hyatt is a day 2 receiver. I like a lot too.
So it's a lot of little talent through here. Just got to find them. So we're going to get ready to wrap this up. This was fun. I'm excited for Thursday night. Where are we watching it? You going to watch it from the comforts of our home, or you want to do something? We're supposed to record that night, huh?
Yeah.
So we'll be recording, and it'll probably be on the TV here.
And we just do live from the – well, I mean, we won't be unless we go live. Can we go live? We can't go live.
Let's fly to Kansas City. All right, I'm talking shit. That'd be lovely. But
sure.
I know, right? Let's get a plane ticket. But, yeah, I'm excited.
Ringo from Georgia is a day 2 guy I like too. So
I like Ringo as well. There's a lot of good guys still going to be left on day 2. Like I said, I love day round 2 and 3. It's some of those guys, like I said, you watching these bowl games and some from your favorite team that are just talented and made great jumps in the Senior Bowl and things of that nature. If you're really into college football, you understand what I'm talking about. So, I mean, you can't go wrong. Like I said, I love this process. I love seeing people get drafted. I love seeing kids getting change their family projection and their kids and start, if they do right in financial literacy, change their families' lives for many generations. So
yeah, it's nice to see that kind of stuff. So
right. Oh, Brian Breesy.
Although a lot of these guys are getting paid in college now too. It was the NIL.
With the NIL now, right? So. Like I said, as I go through this more and more and you see these names that you've seen play throughout the year, you notice these players that we thought were so good in games and when they go get their ratings and grades, you be like, why didn't I hire? Or what you know what I'm saying? What these guys see that we don't see. So it's pretty interesting. So let's wind it up.
Absolutely.
Anything you want to say? We'll speak more on the NBA draft on Thursday. I mean, NBA playoffs on Thursday. I know we want to.
I do actually do something I wrote down here too. Question, I'll ask you this question right there.
I'm listening.
I'm going to ask you this question. Do you think the Knicks game, Donovan Mitchell was very disappointing in the second half there? He only had 11 points in the game. Do you think he can be the number 1 on a championship team?
I can answer that very quickly. Donovan Mitchell needs, I won't say he needs because his game is dope, it's tight. You can't, if you were starting a franchise, you can't start with Donovan Mitchell. You need to go another guy. But technically he's a top 30 guy in the top, 25th, he's on the NBA, all-NBA team. He's a top 15 guy technically if you want to be by the all-NBA teams. I wouldn't start my franchise with him, though. It's kind of weird. Yeah. I don't know how to really word it. I would if you switch him and Jaylen Brown out, I think you'd be in the same position. You switch him out you put him on the Clippers, I think the Clippers are winning that series. I think Donovan Mitchell's not a number 1 guy, I don't think. I don't think he defends well enough for that. I don't think he's big. I hate to say it, use his size. I don't think he's big enough to really – if a real good defender like Kawhi in his prime or a Paul George or even a Draymond Green can affect the shot because he's 6'6", 6'5" or something.
He's in that range, yeah.
And then Draymond, the guys that can really defend at 6'8", 6'9", can really get up in him and deter his shot. So to answer your question, he's a 1, but would I love him on my team, but not as a 1, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does. I mean, I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I mean, can he be like a 1B maybe or a 1A if the right other guy is there? You know what I mean? Like I said, if he was on the Knicks now with like Brunson, you know what I mean? Like with Brunson and Rob, you know, and you know, you have Randall as like your 3 or whatever. Like that's a different story. But I think it has to be the right. I think it has to be the right.
I think
mix.
you would if you had Donovan on the Knicks, you would have a 1A, 1B, 1C. I hate to say it. I think all 3 of them can just get it done on
Randall's not.
I
mean,
he's shrinking right now. I think you might be judging from his 72.
I'm not. I actually don't. I mean, I think Randall is like. I actually think I don't even know if he's a 2. Really, he's the perfect.
Good.
He's the perfect 3. He's the perfect or like 2B. 2B, I think. So that's why.
I don't think Johnson. I don't think Jalen Brunson is a legit 1.
No, he's not. He's you know.
So if you put him with that team completely, I think you get a 1. I mean, it's hard. It's just one of those teams that just have all around talent. Then you can't just sag off this player or sag. It's just a problem for defense when you have that many good players on the floor at one time.
Yeah, I mean, but Brunson's showing that maybe he is a 1. Maybe he is definitely. I mean, it's close.
But when we think 1, we think LeBron, we think KD, we think Devin Booker, we think Kawhi.
Yeah, there's only a handful of those guys that are, you know what I mean? And again, generally, this has been kind of like a weird year in the NBA. Generally speaking, you going into like the playoffs, there's usually like 2 or 3 teams that you really think can win a championship in the NBA.
True.
The NBA is usually not as deep. There's a little bit more. There's a little bit more questions right now than there is unusually a year. I think like I saw the stat. It's been like 25 years and only like once in the last like 50 years has a team like outside of the top 3 betting odds won an NBA championship. It's just so crazy. Like even if you go through the teams and look at all the teams that have won championships in the last like 30 years, it's only like 5 or 6 teams. I mean, maybe it's a little bit more than that. And that was Golden State got, Golden State's had their son, but it's like Golden State, it's the Lakers, it's the Celtics, it's the Bulls. You know what I mean? It's like the Spurs. There's like not that many teams that have won championships. It's just the way that because it's so, 5 guys on the court, 1 player can make such a difference in the NBA. That's what happens. It's just the nature of the game, I guess.
I mean, I know you still want Donovan. Y'all about to put them balls out of the playoffs.
Yeah, I said I'm okay. I want somebody else. I want somebody else. The next guy.
I guarantee people.
The next guy that's available.
People lining up to come to Madison Square Garden next year. Y'all will get another piece.
I don't want Jalen. I don't want Julius Randle. I don't want another Julius Randle.
Oh, I didn't say you're not disrespecting Julius. Julius has did great for you.
No, he's great. I love Julius. I didn't love the whole after they're not going to the press conference because he didn't play at the end of the game, that kind of thing. But Barkley called him out for that, and so did Stephen A. today. But that's
showed immature moments throughout this year, though. Remember, he pushed his own players and.
He's a little bit too. He's a little bit ball heavy. He doesn't, you know what I mean. He the ball kind of dies with him. I love Julius. I'm so happy to have him. But like I said, I want somebody in between him and Brunson or somebody better than Brunson. You know what I mean? That's maybe Jaylen Brown. There's all this talk about Jaylen Brown leaving Boston. I'd gladly take Jaylen. I'll take him. They can have RJ Barrett.
I'm trying to think of a legit target for y'all before we go.
Dame. If Dame wants out, but Dame Brunson is a weird, is a weird mix up. But I mean, I'd roll with it.
I would love to see Dame in Brooklyn next year with Mikal Bridges and Cam and Nick Claxton.
Problem is, they have to give rid of a bunch of those guys to get them too. So
you get rid of Dinwiddie, Finney Smith, throw a first round in there.
They're probably not going to want Dinwiddie. They're going to want Cam, and they're going to want Bridges for him probably.
No, you got to match him with Bridges. Him and Bridges is perfect together because Bridges can defend anybody.
I wonder if they win though. I wonder again. He doesn't want to be a part of a rebuild, right? So, but if they have the top 3
technically still got Ben Simmons technically.
Yeah, I'm talking about with Portland with Dame. So the 3
you can see him being in Portland.
I'm saying you have maybe I don't know if anybody wants Ben, but so the way the lottery is now, so it's the Rockets, the Pistons, and who's the third? And San Antonio all have 14% chance. Then whoever the
so you're saying Portland fuck around and get one Biyama,
they're 4th and they have like a 10% chance, or they're 4th. If they win the lottery, I wonder if that makes. I don't think
Wembanyama 2-3 years away from
being
really
a star.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, he's gonna show sign next year. He's gonna get you 25 points a game or 20, whatever. We'll figure it out with
I mean, he's 19, so he'll be almost 20. He'll turn 20 next year. So we've seen. I mean, we saw what Durant did and what LeBron, and he's LeBron, Kareem, and him. These are now the three biggest prospects in the history. In the history. So we'll see. I mean, 6'7" with an 8-foot wingspan guy. He's sick. You watch the video on him; he is sick.
Facts. I like Scoot and all them. We'll talk about it on next part, but we're gonna ease up out of here, man. I want to. Y'all, we know we end on positivity here. I'm just looking up some things. This stuck out to me. Say success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. So it's really about that journey, man. Keep going. Go towards your goals. Once you get to that top, keep going. Go make you another goal. Once I hit 1,000 followers, I want to get 2,000 followers. When I get 2,000, I want 5,000 followers. When I want that, go, etc. I always set new goals, get higher and higher levels for you. And once you fail, when I drop this pod, I get 10 views. It's not the end of the world. Let's do it again. We're gonna re-up. We're gonna try again. We're gonna figure out what we did wrong. We're gonna try to get some more views, and here we go, again and again and again. So never stop striving for greatness.
Those are good words. And just keep working. Keep working. If you want something, go get it. If you want to, go get it. That's all I can say. Go get it. Go get it. There's nothing you can't get if you don't want to. If you really want to get it.
Facts, man. I want to say I'm thankful and grateful you listen to the LK Sport Podcast, and you always be humble, live humble, and stay humble.